Hello my dear website visitors, YouTube subscribers and just about anyone else who happens to watch this video. This time I want to focus on the very essence of the English fluency issue, namely its wave-like occurrence. If you have this annoying problem, when you can speak quite fluent English on some occasions, but on others you suddenly perform very badly, then you have definitely noticed that this phenomenon fluctuates, which means that moments of very bad English fluency are followed by very good performance, and then it goes back down again. These fluctuations tend to be quite random, and that is probably the most annoying thing about the English fluency issue. For example, you can be speaking very well the night before some important event, but the next day your performance is so bad that you feel like your English is utter rubbish. So, while the upper end of the English fluency issue scale is definitely too severe to live with, there's much we can understand by looking at different levels of English speech you have at different times, and it's worth analyzing a bit. The end goal of today's video episode is to help you realize that ups and downs in speaking English are quite normal, as far as your English speaking performance isn't severely limited by those low moments. Then you definitely have to work on this English fluency issue, and there's no better way to help you with this than my English Harmony System 2.0. But if these symptoms are limited to slightly impeded speech, hesitation, and occasional inability to find just the right words when you want to say something in English, you have to remember that it's absolutely natural to experience performance drops in all aspects of life. Whether we look at physical or mental performance, we can find a whole lot of examples to help us with the realization of the concept of an ever-changing human performance in all aspects of life. I can definitely remember days in a gym when I was unable to bench press a certain weight more than 3 or 4 times, although I would normally do about 10 repetitions with the same weight. I have days when I feel more energetic than usually, and I also have days when I feel drained and sleepy, and my overall performance is slightly inhibited. And I'm pretty sure that every human being has the same experiences on a constant basis. I mean, how can one realistically expect to be always in a top shape, always happy, full of energy, always at the best of one's ability? I won't deny, it's something that we all definitely want, but it's simply impossible to achieve. And the very same goes with speaking performance. Before you even judge your English fluency, just think if you can remember days when you were making plenty of mistakes when speaking in your native language. I can definitely remember moments when I couldn't put the thought that was in my head into proper words even when I was speaking with other Latvians. You see, there are many different circumstances influencing your performance at any given moment. Your current energy levels, your mental state, time of the day, how stressed out you are, and many other factors. All those aspects come together whenever you have to speak English, and they definitely affect your ability to speak English well. I've dealt with this English fluency issue a long time ago, but I still experience slight ups and downs. But I don't take it too seriously now, simply because I know that it's natural. For example, I have days when I'm so energized that I'm literally flying at work. All tasks seemingly take care of themselves, and English communication with my superiors and co-workers is totally effortless. I also have days when nothing seems to be happening right, and I even struggle a bit when chatting with my work colleague William. When I speak, it's a bit more difficult to formulate my thoughts, and the resulting English speech is a bit hesitant and slower than usually. But, as I said previously, as far as you don't experience this issue with really heavy symptoms, when you constantly grind to a halt when speaking, and your head seems to be stuffed full of messy thoughts, and you just can't think straight, you're fine. If these symptoms that you have are mild and your English fluency isn't seriously impeded, you have to accept it all as a normal part of life with ever-changing performance levels. The most important thing to remember on such occasions is to stay calm and comfort yourself with the thought that after every down phase comes the next up, and there's nothing you can really do to improve your English fluency at that given moment. I'm not telling you to be complacent and just go with the flow. Don't take me wrong. You have to constantly work on your English and maintain an overall upwards trend in your English fluency. All I'm saying is that if you take away the stress element from those occasions when you feel down and your English seems to be worse than normally, you can manage the problem more efficiently and save yourself an awful lot of unnecessary worrying. I, for example, used to worry a lot if I'd still experience moments of confusion and misunderstandings during communication in English, even after I had dealt with the most severe English fluency issues. I used to try proving the opposite, that my English is good, by all means, by constantly repeating things and by trying to construct perfect sentences in my head. Let's say, if I just made a slight mistake when speaking English, I'd go back to it in my mind and figure out what would have been the perfect way of putting it. So instead of just enjoying the conversation, I'd be constantly thinking something else at the back of my mind, thus taking away much from the conversation itself and constantly fretting over things that just should be left alone. So, if you do the same, just stop doing it and start enjoying English conversations. Simply tell yourself that your English is good, because you know that it's right? What's the point worrying over a slight drop in English fluency once you know that it's gonna come back soon again? But if your English fluency levels experience severe fluctuations, just check out my English Harmony system and see what it can do for you.